Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, there are certain people in society, in social sphere, there are certain people in the political or social discourse of a country that are known as rent a quote. So rent a quote, rent a quotation. If you watch, let's say for instance, CNN or a channel like that, you would see the anchor of a program sitting in a slide to one side, and then you see pockets of people that are also in discussion with him. So you see the host of the program in, let's say, like a portrait version, and then you see a lot of people in a landscape version. So those people then that you see in landscape version, you virtually only see their head. So they tend to call them talking heads. So talking heads is the colloquialism that is used to capture this sort of people. So now this sort of people, no matter what the topic of our discussion is, they have an opinion on it, from the price of milk to the nuclear physics most acute problem. They have an opinion on it. Anything and everything they have an opinion on, and it is usually the same set of people that you see appearing on this program. So localize this to the Nigerian situation, to the Nigerian space, and an example of this sort of talking head, rent a quote, is somebody like Fani Kayode. There is no topic that is going on within the Nigerian space that this guy doesn't have an opinion on. He has an opinion whether to pour the garri in the bowl first and then pour the hot water, or pour the hot water first and then add the garri. He has an opinion on the teachings in Obafemi Awolowo University, and he has an opinion on how you sit together with your wife to share a snack. So he has an opinion on everything. As guys, I bring you this: you are not God, so I will give you fire for fire. Fani Kayode replies Pastor Bakare. So Pastor Bakare, of course, Tunde Bakare, has been in the news recently, covered on this channel as well, coming out to eulogize about Tinubu on the pulpit in his church. This has, of course, now elicited backlash of criticism, an avalanche of criticism off the back of him doing this, to the point that Tunde Bakare has now come out again in the public space now to defend him eulogizing about Tinubu on the pulpit. So that is the background to this, and as I said, Fani Kayode, an opinion on everything, has an opinion on this. You are not God, so I will give you fire for fire. Fani Kayode replies Pastor Bakare. So now let's now see how this fight ensues. The war of words between a former Minister of Aviation, Fani Kayode, and a senior pastor of the Citadel Global Community, Lagos State, Tunde Bakare, does not seem like it will end soon, as the ex-minister has asked the cleric to respond to the questions he had raised earlier about his, that is Bakare's, alleged ugly past. Fani Kayode noted that though he had an ugly past and was troubled over 30 years ago in Ghana, he was not ashamed of it and was ready to answer Bakare fire for fire. Bakare had on Tuesday dared Fani Kayode and the spokesman of Yoruba socio-cultural group F1Re, Mr. Yinka Odumakun, to expose his supposed ugly past and feel free to publish it. Bakare had for the first time reacted to the statements he made about a former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, saying that Fani Kayode was in the grip of Satan when he, Bakare, ministered Jesus Christ to his mother in the recent past. Earlier, Fani Kayode had on Monday called out Pastor Bakare over the accolades he showered on the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Tinubu, noting that he did not know who was dragging Bakare's balls. But in a statement he personally signed on Tuesday, Bakare dared Fani Kayode to expose the supposed ugly past that he, Bakare, had. To this, Fani Kayode replied in another statement, Yinka Odumakun, tell Tunde Arewa that I only asked questions. I made no assertions and indulged in no falsehood. I simply asked him to clear the air. Can't we ask questions? Is he God? Why is he so upset? Why can't he just answer the questions rather than get his knickers in a twist? In any case, why is he sending you to me? If he is a man, let him reach me himself and not send you to me. I do not react well to threats, and you are not his messenger. If he has anything to say to me, let him say it. I am waiting, and I will respond to him fire for fire. As for my past, he can say what he likes. Nothing is hidden. I have given my testimony publicly many times, including before the Nigerian Senate, and I have always said I am a living manifestation of God's mercy and grace. Everyone has a past. No one is an angel, including him. I was troubled 30 years ago. I went to a Bible school in Ghana. God delivered me and my life was never the same again. End of story. That is my testimony, and it is a great and miraculous one. That is why I am a believer. That is why I am so proud of God that I serve. Fani Kayode added that if the devil wanted to use my past against me, I will use his future against him. Let God judge. Fani Kayode had said on October 28, 2019, Pastor Bakare said the following: Tinubu will give account for all his deeds. He will not be seen as a generous man. He is an integral part of the rotten Nigeria. Curiously, just 1 year and 2 months later, on December 20th, 2020, the same Tunde Bakare changed the music and said the following about the same man. He said, people should see Tinubu as a Yoruba hero. He should not be vilified. Like Jephthah the Gileadite, he has fought many battles on behalf of the Yoruba people and won despite his rough beginning, and God does not need anybody's permission to put such in his hall of fame despite their past deeds and ancestry. Is he being blackmailed? Are his balls being squeezed by a hidden hand? Is there a deep secret somewhere that we know nothing about and that they are dangling over his head like a sword of Damocles? Could this volte-face have been motivated by the fact that an unsavory event which allegedly took place in 1990 in the life of the pastor was about to be exposed by the Tinubu camp? I am not making any allegations here. I am only asking a question. Again, could it have anything to do with an alleged ugly situation with a bank whose ownership recently changed hands? Fani Kayode further said. Similarly, the F1Re spokesman described the accolade Bakare showered on Tinubu as displeasing. In his column in a Nigerian newspaper, Odumakun wrote, "It is the very height of the abuse of the rostrum of a pastor to say to us, no matter how God-forsaken the country has become, that if somebody is accused of being a thief, the rest of us should go and become thieves as well." So this is now the backlash, of course, against what this guy has said on the pulpit. But then, of course, even prior to Fani Kayode chiming in, and we will get to Fani Kayode in a moment, but even prior to Fani Kayode chiming in, I had also then, in a video that I've done recently, just go through my playlist and it's there, it's quite recent. So I had stated in that video that it is quite a very suspicious thing for this guy to go on his rostrum and preach the words of Tinubu and not the word of God, because of course his congregation are not there to worship Tinubu and to fellowship with Tinubu, but to fellowship with their fellow gathering in worship of the Lord. And this Bakare has now turned his pulpit, by the way, to a political rostrum where he just sounds off and mouths off about all things political and all the whimsicals in his mind. So it's nothing to do with God anymore. It's church. It's just a political venue, and the congregation really are effectively captive, subject to his political rants. So that is this guy, Bakare, but Fani Kayode really, he has an opinion about anything. You can justify this because it's a political situation and it's a politician and it's an opposition politician to Tinubu, so that might well be his pathway through commenting on this, but there is nothing really that Fani Kayode does not have an opinion on. If Mustafa is fighting with his wife over whatever on the back streets of Cairo or in the interlands of Sudan, whatever, Fani Kayode has an opinion on that. There's nothing and not a single thing that he doesn't have an opinion on. A colorful life he has lived, of course, because he was recently in beef with his Igbo wife, which led to allegations of domestic violence, etc. And it's always one controversy after the other with this guy. He cannot help himself. Of course, he recently went, was it to River State or something, and caused commotion there. Everywhere he goes, he causes commotion because he just loves the luster and the allure and the elixir of attention. So an attention seeker and a talking head, Fani Kayode. But then, of course, this matter of Bakare now, the pastor eulogizing the thief on the pulpit, is now one of the mainstay now of the Nigerian landscape, because we've now seen this repeat severally and copiously. What's that one? Liquid Metal, Odumeje. You will see him in the offices of every politician collecting money. There was a clip going around recently of some commissioner in Igbo land actually spraying this guy Naira in his office, in the commissioner's office, so spraying him Naira. Spain, I mean, it's madness what is going on there. Anyway, come make sense of all this madness with me in the comment section. But before you come talk sense, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, come join me there, Fani Kayode, and the madness that is going on the pulpits of the at least some of the churches in Nigeria is the topic of discussion. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.